The legend of El Dorado, a city overflowing with gold and precious jewels, has tantalized explorers, historians, and treasure hunters for centuries. This mythical city, said to be hidden somewhere in the dense jungles of South America, has sparked numerous expeditions, inspired countless stories, and led many to their doom. Yet the allure of El Dorado remains undiminished, a symbol of ultimate wealth and the human spirit's relentless quest for discovery. Before we begin, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss new stories. And also, write a comment what story you would like to hear next. The origins of the El Dorado myth are deeply entwined with the history and cultures of pre-Columbian South America, a testament to the region's rich and complex heritage long before European explorers set foot on its soil. This legend, which has captivated the imagination of the world for centuries, is not merely a tale of wealth and greed, but also a reflection of the profound spiritual and cultural practices of the indigenous peoples of the Americas. The myth of El Dorado, at its core, is rooted in the spiritual and ceremonial practices of the Muisca people, among other indigenous groups in the Andean region. For these cultures, gold was not merely a material for economic exchange, but held significant spiritual value. It was believed to be the sweat of the sun, a sacred element that could bring one closer to the divine. The Muisca, in particular, were known for their elaborate ceremonies that involved offerings of gold to their gods, which were conducted at sacred lakes such as Guatavita, located near present-day Bogotá, Colombia. The ceremony that likely gave rise to the El Dorado myth involved the ritualistic anointing of the Muisca chieftain with gold dust. This chieftain, known as the Zipa, would cover himself in sticky resin and then gold dust, making him appear as though he were made of gold. Accompanied by his subjects, he would then travel on a raft to the center of Lake Guatavita, where he would dive into the waters, washing away the gold dust as an offering to the gods. This ceremony, witnessed by early Spanish explorers, fueled the European imagination and transformed into a tale of a city made entirely of gold. The quest for El Dorado, the mythical city of gold, spurred numerous expeditions that played a significant role in the exploration and colonization of South America. One of the earliest and most notable expeditions in search of El Dorado was led by Gonzalo Pizarro, the half-brother of the famous conquistador Francisco Pizarro, who conquered the Inca Empire. In 1541, Gonzalo Pizarro set out from Quito, Ecuador, with a large force of Spanish soldiers and indigenous slaves, venturing into the Amazon rainforest. The expedition faced immense challenges, including harsh terrain, disease, and lack of food. In a desperate bid to find food and the fabled city, Pizarro sent a smaller contingent led by Francisco de Orellana downriver. Orellana's journey became an epic in its own right. Unable to return upstream to Pizarro, Orellana and his men continued eastward, eventually reaching the Atlantic Ocean. Along the way, they encountered diverse indigenous cultures and navigated through uncharted territories. Orellana's expedition marked the first known navigation of the entire length of the Amazon River. Although they did not find El Dorado, Orellana's voyage provided valuable insights into the Amazon's geography and its peoples. Another significant figure in the search for El Dorado was Sir Walter Raleigh, the English explorer, courtier, and writer. Raleigh made two major expeditions to South America in the late 16th and early 17th centuries. His first expedition in 1595 aimed to find El Dorado in the region of present-day Guyana and Venezuela. Raleigh's accounts of his voyage, in which he claimed to have found a golden city in the distance, though he never reached it, fueled further interest in El Dorado in Europe. Raleigh's second expedition in 1617 was a failure. The expedition did not find El Dorado, and Raleigh's son was killed in a conflict with the Spanish. Raleigh himself was executed for this unauthorized attack upon the Spanish, a major diplomatic incident at the time. Despite his ultimate failure, Raleigh's expeditions contributed to the European mapping and understanding of the northern coast of South America. The myth of El Dorado, like many legends, has undergone significant evolution over the centuries, transforming from its origins in indigenous ceremonies to a symbol of ultimate wealth and adventure that captivated the European imagination and beyond. Initially, El Dorado referred to the Muisca ritual of the Gilded Man, a chieftain adorned with gold dust. However, as tales of this ceremony reached the ears of European explorers and conquerors in the 16th century, the story began to morph. The Europeans, driven by their insatiable greed for gold and the promise of new lands to conquer, transformed the ritualistic significance of the gold into tales of a city overflowing with gold and jewels. El Dorado shifted from being a person, the Gilded One, to a place, a city, kingdom, or empire where gold was found in unimaginable quantities. As various expeditions ventured into the interiors of South America and returned without finding El Dorado, the supposed location of this mythical city began to shift. Initially thought to be located in the Andean region near the territories of the Muisca people, the search expanded into the vast Amazon rainforest, the highlands of Guyana, and even further into the northern parts of South America. With each failed expedition, the legend grew, and El Dorado seemed to retreat further into the uncharted territories of the continent. The search for El Dorado, despite its mythical status, has roots in real historical and cultural practices of the indigenous peoples of the Americas. Archaeological and historical evidence has shed light on these practices, offering a glimpse into the societies that inspired the legend. The Muisca people, who lived in the Andean region of present-day Colombia, are often directly associated with the origins of the El Dorado myth. Archaeological excavations in the region have uncovered numerous gold artifacts that attest to the Muisca's skill in metalworking. Lake Guatavita, located near Bogotá, Colombia, has been a focal point in the search for El Dorado. Early Spanish explorers heard stories about the gold offerings thrown into the lake during Muisca ceremonies. Several attempts were made to drain the lake in the hopes of uncovering vast treasures. The most notable attempt was in the 16th century by the Spanish conquistador Gonzalo Jiménez de Quesada, and later efforts in the 20th century. While these attempts did recover some gold artifacts, the findings were not as extensive as the legend suggested. These efforts, however, underscore the persistence of the El Dorado myth and the lengths to which people were willing to go in search of gold. In various parts of South and Central America, gold artifacts have been discovered, pointing to sophisticated metallurgical skills and the cultural importance of gold. The Inca Empire, for example, was rich in gold, which they used extensively for religious objects and adornments. The Spanish conquest of the Inca further fueled European fantasies about vast treasures in the New World. In literature, El Dorado has been used both as a setting for adventure and as a metaphor for unattainable goals or quests that consume individuals to the point of obsession. Voltaire's Candide famously includes a segment where the protagonists visit a city that could be likened to El Dorado, showcasing a society living in peace and prosperity, starkly contrasting with the Europe of Voltaire's time. This serves as a critique of contemporary European society, suggesting that the true El Dorado might lie in living according to principles of reason and kindness, rather than in the accumulation of wealth. In modern films and television, El Dorado often serves as the ultimate destination or prize, embodying the human drive for discovery and the unknown. The animated film The Road to El Dorado, 2000, is a notable example, presenting a comedic adventure that explores themes of friendship, greed, and the clash between cultures, all while using the myth as its backdrop. Video games have also embraced El Dorado as a narrative device, often framing it as a lost city filled with treasures and dangers. Games like Uncharted Drake's Fortune use the legend to drive their plot, combining action and exploration with the allure of uncovering a hidden past. The legend of El Dorado remains a powerful narrative, capturing the human imagination and our innate desire to explore and discover. It serves as a reminder of our shared history, the mysteries that still elude us, and the lessons we can learn from the past. Thank you for watching the video. If you have questions, write them in the comments, and also check out our channel. We have some more interesting videos.